knowledge is heavy, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Hi guys, welcome to Thembi's Happy Corner. Boo, 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 boo. Say hello, babe. You're welcome in a space where we talk about God, where we embrace growth. And if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share to your fellow friends. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you, darling, for coming back to my space. And guess what we are doing today? I have a box. I have a box full of books. So I posted a short showing you guys the number of books that I have on my shelf, and someone commented, Ari, please rate the books. And I'm like, sounds like a good plan. So I always wanted to do this kind of videos, but I wasn't sure of the number of people I have in my channel who love books. So then today we'll be rating the books that I have. These are the books from last year and this year, right? So I will tell you if I read this last year or this year, and I'll just give you a bit brief of what the book is all about. Guys, if there's one thing that I love is reading, and I will, if by any chance I had a means to give everyone a reading brain, I would take my brain and take a piece and give to everyone. Because one thing about reading, right? Reading is, I don't know, it's such a good escape. You escape from a lot. You don't have to start reading by a very big book. You can start with small books, right? Like small books, just find something and read. So what equipped me to reading is my dad, where he works every year, not every year, but every 2 years, he will bring a big box full of books, right? This happened when I was still in high school. Then he would say choose books from. So the boxes were from different libraries, and then I'll get to choose books that I need and or feel like I would love to read. And guys, it was such an experience, a good experience for me, because that's where I got equipped for reading. And the first book that I picked, I still remember that very book because I've read it more than once, twice, thrice, because it was too good like that. So it was a book by Julia Quinn, The Minx. No wonder I love Bridgerton, because that book was like Bridgerton, baby. The first season of Bridgerton, so it was so good. Then I started reading with that book, besides school book of books, because of course we had school books, but I just love reading, guys. So I would love to tell you before I read, guys, read. Reading is good. Reading is such a good escape. You get to learn a lot through reading, honestly speaking. And I just feel like you have a lot to say because you read a lot, right? So you have words of wisdom from reading and all that. Some of the books that I received are, some of the books that I have in this box, some are gifts, some I bought them. So let's start with the first book. You will comment down below which one you like. Drum rolls. You see that it has got a bookmark. This is the first book that I am showing you guys. It's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. See this book, it's such a good book. So this book, I received it as a gift, right? I love it. I'm not yet done with it. I started it 2 days ago, so I'm not so far, you see. Yeah, I'm around page 70 something, so there's not much I can say about it right now at the moment, but it's such a page turner. So I love it so far, right? I am saying this book, I'm giving it 7/10. So where I am, so this book is about this girl or this woman called Evelyn Hugo. Yes, Evelyn Hugo. So she had 7 husbands, right? So each chapter is about how she met the husband and why she had to fall in love or why she was married. So where the first pages that I'm in, she's explaining her first husband. She married this person because she was abused at home, and her father was also abusive. Her mother died. Then she wanted to escape from home, and she got married, I think at the age of 11, and she had to lie about her age because her body was big, right? And then she lied about her age and she got away with it. So yeah, I'm giving it 7/10. Yes. Next we have this book is called The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. I haven't read it because when I bought this book, I bought the book, and then at church we had a movie night. Tell me why they had to play this movie, the very same movie of the book that I bought. So I think I'll give it away, maybe to my sister. Yeah, I have a sister who likes reading, so I'm gonna give it to her. So no rating, no nothing. You can watch the movie because they bore me. Next, drum rolls. Next on the line, we have A Little Life. Oh my god, 720 pages. This book is the girl she thinks she is, or is the boy? He's the boy he thinks he is, because it was so good, guys. This book was so good, like so good. So it's not a page 10. Actually, the way it's written, at first when you're reading it, right, it gives you enthusiasm, right, to go on, like to go on. Then when you reach some parts, you're like, why? Now it's becoming a slow read. So this is about 5 friends. Is it 5? Yeah. It's JB, Malcolm, William, and who else? JB. Oh, and Judy. So there were 4 friends who met in varsity, and one of them was abused sexually. He had to be sold for prostitution, and then he fell in love with one of the friends. They were gays. Oh my god. Yeah, so they fell in love, and he had to attend some of the psychological sessions. Guys, this book made me cry. Some parts made me cry because it made me realize that there are people who are broken beyond broken, because this guy Judy in this book was so broken. But what it taught me is live your life, love who you love, and be happy, be merry. But as a Christian, love like Christ said you should love. You know what I mean? So yeah, so this book, I'm gonna give it a ratings of 7.5/10. 7.5 because I feel like sometimes it was a slow read, sometimes fast, and it played with my emotions so much. And later on, Judy killed himself because his partner died in a car accident, and one of his friends was also involved in that car accident. So too much trauma for me. So 7.5 it is. The next book in the line, drum rolls, The Alchemist. Guys, I read this book this year, beginning of the year, January. In one day, I was done with this book. Like, perfect read. I feel like I would love to repeat it again, to reread it again, because this is such a perfect read. If you are not a reader and you want to start reading, please start with this book, because this book is so good. It's so good. So this is about a boy who went out to find treasure, only to find that the treasure he's looking for is at his home, or the treasure is at where he stays. Like, it's I don't know how to explain this, but the treasure is with him. All along he was working with the treasure. He is the treasure. So I feel like this book taught me that some of the times people we run around looking for things to fulfill us, only to find that you are the person to fulfill yourself. You are the fulfillment. Yourself, you are the fulfillment. So this book was so good, and I really love it. It's The Alchemist by Paul Kulu. If you want to start reading, please start with this. I assure you, you're gonna love it. And it has got some biblical aspects in it, and it also talks about Melchizedek, because the guy, the boy who went to find treasure, met Melchizedek, just like in the Bible. So this book is so nice. And he also went to Egypt, and then he saw the pyramids and all that. Like, guys, this book is so good. Please read it. I don't want to put spoilers, a lot of spoilers, because I feel like you won't want to read. So read this book. And I am giving it 9 over 10, because what do you mean? This book is the girl. Then next, drum roll. When Breath Becomes a by Paul Calamity. If you want to cry, so this is a memoir. I read it last year, and I didn't even take a week to read this book. That's how good it is. It's a page turner also. So this is about a surgeon, right? A surgeon who went to school, and actually he went to school, studied English and all that. Then in the meantime, he said because he has achieved his studies, he also want to study medicine. Studied medicine. He became a surgeon, right? So in the meantime, or in the midst of furthering his studies, he fell sick. He was found to have cancer, and he died right after he finished his school years. He died, and also he met the love of his life. So this book, when you're reading, it ends somewhere in the middle, and then when it ended, the following page is the wife writing. Then she wrote that unfortunately he couldn't finish the book because he died. He was writing about himself, and he died in the midst of writing. Like, guys, I cried so much. And this is a real life story. It's not some manga business. This is a real life story. So I really loved this book, and I'm gonna give it 10 over 10. 10 over 10, because it was too good. It was too good. Know that if I read a book and I remember everything I read, is because the book was too good. So I'm gonna give it 10 over 10. In case you would love to read this, please do. I love it. Then next on the line. How did we get here? How did we get here? By Mpumi Lidwaba. I received this as a gift, guys. I am lost of words. This book is good. I feel like every book I've ever read is good. I don't know, but I just feel like it's good. So this book is good. I got it as a gift. And it's a girl's guide to finding herself. So this is basically Mpumi explaining about her journey when she was young, how she grew up, the problems she faced when she dropped out of university, how she felt at that moment and all that, how she knew her goals before she actually became who she is now or today. This book made me feel like I have to get a diary or a journal to journal my life. Like, that's how this book is. And you're also provided with space to write whatever you want to write. But I have never wrote in it because I felt like I want to write it in a journal. If you haven't read anything and you want a very easy read, this is an easy read. You can get this. Actually, I urge everyone to get this book. It's good like that. So if I am to rate it, I'm gonna give it 8 over 10. 8 over 10. I loved it so much also. And another book in the line. If you are 20, right? I know I've showed you other books, and if you are 20, please read this book. This is the manual of life. I know there's a Bible that's a manual of life, but this is also a manual of life. You know, there are type of books where you read and you feel like this writer knows you. Meg J knew me when I was reading this book. He knew me. He wrote, like, I don't know if it's a woman or a he. I've never read about this person. So if it's a he, it's a she, please forgive me. This person wrote like someone who was once in their 20s, and they wrote everything about kind of friends you should have, about choosing careers, about choosing workplaces, about choosing partners. This book, everyone who asks me what book should they read if they want motivation, this is the motivation you need. This also gives you a glimpse of the kind of friends you have will determine how far you go, how you'll achieve your goals. And this person also touches on what kind of skills you should have in your 20s. Actually, we are defining the decade, so I am rating this out of 10. How much can I give it? 9.5. I love this book. Everyone who asks me, I always tell them about this book because you need this. You really need this. Please buy this book. I urge you to buy this book. Buy this. I don't know. This book, perfect. Yeah. Then we have Finding Me by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is an actress. You know her, guys. Viola is an actress. Of course, you can see her. Haven't you ever seen this woman? This book is good also, but I feel like it took me time to finish, but also it was so good. It's so good. So this is basically Viola talking about her life, how she got to the industry, how she fell in love. The perfect story that I love is how she fell in love. I love love. Like, honestly speaking, I love love. So I love life, guys. I love knowing how people met and how the spouses impacted each other. So I love how she met her husband, and I love how she articulated the way she grew up. Viola grew up suffering, guys. So for someone to be where she is today, having went through what she went through, I feel like that's a good thing. Yeah, so it reminds me of wherever you are today, as much as you do not see tomorrow, it's not defining how things will turn out for you. Things change. As much as we might think they will not, things change. So yeah, this book, I'm gonna rate it 7/10 because it took me time to read it. Yeah, but I love it. Mwah. Next we have When Secrets Become Stories by Shunyati. So these are different stories from different women explaining on how they were abused. I am not done with it. I'm somewhere here. Yeah, I feel like it's touching. It's touching. Yeah, but I'm not done. So this is a girlhood book of how other people, how other females went through what they went through. So I am gonna give it, I'm not done with it, but so far I'm gonna say 6. I have my reasons, of which I don't want to sound insensitive, but I have my reasons. Yeah, yes, 6 it is. So I have this, I haven't read it, and I also have this, I haven't read it either, and I'm not gonna rate them. Then we have this. If you're curious like this girl, get this book. That's if you love science. That's if you love forensic. I love forensic. I love learning. Like, it gives me chills. I love learning. So that's why I bought this book. It's all about everything you want to know about the mortuary, what they will do to us when we die. Yeah. This is the book. I just love it. So it's written by a South African pathologist, right? Yeah, I learned a lot here and I love it. If you're curious and you want to know, get this book. Ryan Blumenthal is your author. You will love it so much. If I'm to rate it, I'm gonna give it 8.5, darling, because I love it, because I got a lot of information that I never knew, right? And I'm still learning a lot. I wish I can repeat it to know the type of deaths, how they determine that this person died this way, and what they see. And yeah, like, guys, this is the perfect book. This is a perfect book. I love it. And again, what's next? Drum rolls. Woman Evolve. I read this a year before last year. Yeah, it's by, what's her name again? Sarah Jakes Roberts. Yeah, this is about women evolving. Yeah, it speaks about Eve. Yeah, Eve. So Eve, far from the Bible. So it speaks about how she fell pregnant out of wedlock. Guys, this book is good, but again, for me, it was not a fast read, right? It was not a fast read, and I received it as a gift. Yeah, it was perfect though. Yeah, so if I'm to rate it, I'm gonna give it 7 also. 7. And I think from our box, lastly, we have one book. Discovering the Kingdom. I am not done with it. As you see, I'm still in the process of reading it, because this book is big. And how do you determine that a book is big? It's not by pages, it's by content. You determine the how big the book is by content, not by pages. It has a lot to learn. If you want to know more about the kingdom of God, read this. Like, I read it, like these few pages, I've read them, and every single time I'm reminded that God made us to increase his kingdom. He brought us onto earth for us to increase his kingdom, and we are here not for our own values, not for our own lives, but to increase his kingdom. And if you're living in that manner that is not increasing or adding into the kingdom of God, then you're not living your purpose, because the purpose is to fulfill what the Lord said we should do. So this book is all about that. It's too big. It's so big. The content is big, and you have to read this with the Bible next yourself. You have to be highlighting. I think mine is, you see, I've been highlighting the, you saw? I've been highlighting this book because I love it. Every single time when I read the Bible, I always go back to reference this. Imagine I've only read these pages, but when I read the Bible, I always remember Miles Monroe. So if I'm to rate this, I'm gonna give it 9/10, because I feel like this man had wisdom when he wrote this. Like, his wisdom it's surpassing. So yeah, I love this. I'm going to read this further. And from the books that I wanted to read, I think we are done. And thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. Please tell me which book you're gonna buy first and read about and get to understand. And yeah, guys, these are the books that I have, and I so wish you can tame your mind into reading, because you will learn a lot and it increases your vocabulary. So yeah, guys, thank you. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share to your fellow friends. Until we meet next time. Boo 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 boo.